Very good afternoon, my dear children. This is L.K. Tripathi from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Dear children, as we have been studying about the land, soil, and water, these three part resources available on the earth, they are really very useful for us in our life. About the land, we have studied last days, and soil. 2 points we have been studying. Here we shall see about the factors of soil formation. How is soil formed? This is the topic of the day. The major factors of soil formation are the nature of the parent rock and climatic factors. Other factors are the topography, role of organic material, and time taken for the composition of soil formation. All these differ from place to place. So, all these factors are essential to form the soil. Among them, topography, organic materials, times, they constitute to form the soil. And all these parts differ from place to place. So, here parent rock. What is parent rock? This is soil in the center of all the measures. Determines colors, texture, chemical properties, mineral content, and permeability. This is necessary to form the soil. Second thing is required relief. Relief में क्या क्या आता है? Altitude and slope determine accumulation of soil. Flora, fauna, and microorganisms affect the rate of humus formation. Next, climate. Temperature, rainfall influence, rate of weathering and humus formation. Time. Time is also important to form soil. Time determines thickness of soil profile. Now here, degradation of soil and conservation. Soil कैसे degrade होता है और कैसे conserve होता है, यहाँ हम इसको देखते हैं. Soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to soil as a resource. Both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soils. Factors which lead to soil degradation are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, rainwash, landslides, and floods. Some methods of soil conservation are listed below. Soil conservation के कुछ मेथड यहाँ पर दिए गए हैं. Mulching. The bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw. It helps to retain soil moisture. Second, contour barriers. Stones, grass, soil are used to build barriers along contours. Trenches are made in front of the barriers to collect water. Rock dam. Rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gullies and further soil loss. Next, terrace farming. Broad flat step or terraces are made on the steep slopes so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops. They reduce surface runoff and soil erosion. Intercropping. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash. Contour plowing. Plowing parallel to the contours of a hill slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. Shelter belt. In the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. Next, that is water. Now, the next important resource of the earth is water. Water is a vital renewable natural resource. Three-fourths of Earth's surface is covered with water. It is therefore appropriately called the water planet. It was in the primitive oceans that life began almost 3.5 billion years back. Even today, the oceans cover two-thirds of the Earth's surface and support a rich variety of plant and animal life. The ocean water is, however, saline and not fit for human consumption. Fresh water accounts for only about 2.7%. Nearly 70% of this occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, and mountain regions. Due to their location, they are inaccessible. Only 1% of fresh water is available and fit for human use. It is found as groundwater, as surface water in rivers and lakes, and as water vapor in the atmosphere. Fresh water is therefore the most precious substance on earth. Water can neither be added nor subtracted from the earth. Its total volume remains constant. Its abundance only seems to vary because it is in constant motion, cycling through the oceans, the air, the land, and back again through the process of evaporation, precipitation, and runoff. This, as you already know, is referred to as the water cycle. Human use huge amount of water not only for drinking and washing but also in the process of production. Water for agriculture industries generating electricity through reservoirs of dams are the other uses. Increasing population, rising demands for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization and rising standards. Living are the major standard of living are the major factors leading to shortages in supply of fresh water, either due to drying up of water sources or water pollution. Problems of water availability. What are the major problems? We have to find it through this discussion. There is scarcity of water in many regions of the world. Most of Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America, and entire Australia are facing shortages in fresh water supply. Countries located in climatic zones most susceptible to droughts face great problems of water scarcity. Thus, water shortage may be a consequence of variation in seasonal or annual precipitation, or the scarcity is caused by overexploitation and contamination of water sources. Conservation of water resources. Access to clean and adequate water sources is a major problem facing the world today. Steps have to be taken to conserve this dwindling resource. Even though water is a renewable resource, its overuse and pollution make it unfit for use. Discharge of untreated or partially treated sewages, agricultural chemicals, and industrial effluents in water bodies are major contaminants. They pollute water with nitrates, metals, and pesticides. Most of these chemicals are non biodegradable and reach human bodies through water. Water pollution can be controlled by treating these effluents suitably before releasing them in water bodies. Forest and other vegetation cover slow the surface runoff and replenish underground water. Water harvesting is another method to save surface runoff. The canals used for irrigating fields should be properly lined to minimize losses by water seepage. Sprinklers effectively, effectively irrigate the area by checking water losses through seepage and evaporation. In dry regions with high rates of evaporation, drip or trickle irrigation is very useful. The valuable water resource can therefore be conserved by adopting these means of irrigation. Natural vegetation and wildlife. Some school children were visiting an exhibition on handicrafts. The articles in the exhibition were collected from different parts of the country. Mona picked up a bag and exclaimed, "This is the beautiful handbag." "Yes, it is made from jute," the teacher said. "Do you see those baskets, lamps, shades, and chairs? Those are made of canes and bamboos. In the eastern and northeastern humid regions of India, bamboo grows in plenty." Jessie was excited to see a silk scarf. "See this beautiful scarf." The teacher explained that silk is obtained from silkworms that are bred on mulberry trees. The children understood that plants provide us with many different products that we use in our day to day life. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere that we call biosphere. In the biosphere, living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for survival. This life supporting system is known as the ecosystem. Vegetation and wildlife are valuable resources. Plants provide us with timber, give shelter to animals, produce oxygen we breathe, protect soil, so essential for growing crops, act as shelter belt, help in storage of underground water, give us fruits, nuts, latex, turpentine oil, gum, medicinal plants, and also the paper that is so essential for your studies. There are innumerable uses of plants, and you can add some more. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. They provide us milk, meat, hides, and wool. Insects like bees provide us honey, help in pollination of flowers, and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem. The birds feed on insects and act as decomposers as well. Vulture, due to its ability to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and considered a vital cleanser of the environment. So, animals, big or small, all are integral to maintaining balance in the ecosystem. So, we have come to know up to here. Next, we shall discuss in the next video. Till then, thank you and goodbye.